Well, welcome everybody to this, day one of the Royal Commission into Senator Fraser Anning's maiden speech. Having examined the transcript of Mr Anning's speech in detail, I can summarise the text as follows. Foreign languages give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't much like Muslims. And everything was great until Whitlam let the Asians in. Now, this culminates in Mr Anning's expressed desire to ban the entry of Muslims into Australia. And on this subject, I call the experts in the field of instituting bans, namely Coles and Woolworths, and will examine their recent success in stopping us from being swamped by plastic bags. And, of course, how easy it is to reverse such a ban, or the possible suggestion that we charge 15 cents per Muslim we let into the country, or even start giving away little miniature figurines of Muslims made available for purchases over $30. Now, I also note this is not the first maiden speech by a Queensland senator to ignite racist undertones, and to that I ask the entire state of Queensland, please explain. Is it the humidity? Is it because we send all our elderly people to the Gold Coast? I mean, these matters will all be considered in due course. Now, with regard to Mr Fraser's inflammatory use of the term final solution, I did try to subpoena notable Third Reich Nazis, only to discover that they too died out along with that expression. So without any actual Nazis to call upon, I instead watched Raiders of the Lost Ark and was happy to find my suspicions were proved correct and that Nazis were in fact still the bad guys. And if Indiana Jones had not turned his face at the opening of the Covenant, he too would have melted into a puddle of himself, but I digress. On Mr Anning's call for a plebiscite into immigration, I note that for such a plebiscite to be successful, a large proportion of non-white Australians would have to vote against immigration, in effect, against themselves. My point being, immigration has already happened. We are an immigrant country, and all the better for it, as I'm reminded every time I devour a delicious late-night kebab on the way home from this soul-crushing job. Now, those of us old enough to remember the White Australia policy will recall the distinct lack of culinary options available to us, and it is the view of this Commission that a return to that era would deal a substantial blow not only to the fabric of our nation, but indeed to our taste buds. On that note, we will adjourn for lunch.